Emotion. Thursday, May 14, 2020. 8:16 p.m. Emotion.
Emotions, limbic system. Responsible for storage/retrieval of memories, especially ones tied to emotions, serves as control for basic emotion and drives. Mnemonic, hippo wearing a hat. Hypothalamus, amygdala, thalamus, and hippocampus. Thalamus sensory relay station, everything you hear/taste/ etc. end up in thalamus, which directs them to appropriate areas in cortex. Emotions contingent on senses. Smell is only one that bypasses the thalamus, goes to areas closer to amygdala. Amygdala, aka aggression center. If you stimulate amygdala, produces anger/violence and fear/anxiety. If you destroy it, get mellowing effect. Kluver-Bucy syndrome, bilateral destruction of amygdala, can result in hyperality, put things in mouth a lot, hypersexuality, and disinhibited behavior. Hippocampus, key role in forming new memories. Convert short to long-term memory. If destroyed, still have old memories intact, just can't make new ones. Hypothalamus, below the thalamus, tiny, for limbic system, it regulates the ANS, fight or flight versus rest and digest. Controls endocrine system. Emotions, cerebral hemispheres and prefrontal cortex. Role of cerebral cortex in emotions. One way is in terms of the L and our hemispheres. Positive emotions evoke more activity on left side, and negative emotions evoke more activity on right side. Little kids playing in group, more social kids had more activity in left hemisphere, and isolated kids more activity in right. More positive, cheerful people had more activity in left, more depressed and timid had more in right. Dividing into functional divisions, focus on prefrontal cortex. Responsible for many higher-order functions, everything that distinguishes humans. Executive control, solve problems, make decisions, how you act in social situations. Phineas Gage had iron rod penetrate his prefrontal cortex. After incident, rude and rough, behaved inappropriately. Autonomic nervous system, ANS, and physiological markers of emotion. Physiological changes that occur which aren't under your control due to the ANS. Has two branches: sympathetic, fight or flight, and parasympathetic, rest and digest. Sympathetic, pupils dilate, decrease in salivation, increase respiration/heart rate/glucose release/adrenaline, decrease in digestion. Parasympathetic, pupils constrict, decrease respiratory rate/heart rate, increase glucose storage, decrease in adrenaline, increase digestion. 3 components of emotion and the universal emotions. Emotions are subjective experiences accompanied by physiological, behavioral, and cognitive changes. All interrelated. Physiological components: when surprised, HR increase, muscles tense, temperature increase. Cognitive vary person to person, they're mental assessments that can include thoughts and assessments of situation. Cognitive experiences result from emotions and can cause emotions. Behavioral emotions may bring about behaviors. Emotions are temporary and can be negative or positive. Also vary in intensity. They're involuntary. Paul Ekman found 6 universal emotions identified by everyone around the world. Happiness, sadness, fear, disgust, anger and surprise. Consistent expressions across culture. Darwin hypothesized ability to understand emotion is an innate ability that allowed them better survival. Theories of emotion. Emotion is made of 3 components: cognitive, physiological, and behavioral responses. Which come first? James Lange theory: physiologically based experience of emotion is due to perception of physiological responses. X holding pet cat, increased HR/neurotransmitters/smile, then happiness. When sad, don't cry because you're sad because you cry. X physiological arousal followed by aggressive emotions, not simultaneous. Physiological emotion. Cannon-Bard theory disagreed with James Lange, Noticed many different emotions had same physiological responses. Believed physiological response and emotion occurred simultaneously. Simultaneously experience arousal and aggression. Physiological equals emotion. Schachter-Singer physiological and cognitive responses simultaneously form emotion. We don't feel emotion until we're able to identify reason for situation. Arousal and interpretation of arousal leads to aggressive emotion. Physiological plus cognitive emotion. Lazarus theory experience of emotion depends on how the situation is appraised, labeled. Stimulus labeling situation, cognitive, emotion plus physiological response. How we label event is based on cultural/individual differences. Interpretation of event leads to arousal and aggression. Cognitive emotion plus physiological. People perform best when they are moderately aroused, the Yerkes-Dodson law. Defined as people tend to perform at their optimum ability when they are moderately emotionally stimulated. Extremely emotional or non-emotional people are less likely to perform their best.